I think that whenever new people sign up and they're super excited about it, that's a great opportunity for you as a coach to slide in and kind of let them know that you need to contain that excitement because it's going to dwindle, unfortunately. And that's kind of like the sad reality. Because the excitement only lasts for so long, but the motivation and discipline is what's going to keep you going through the long term.
Right.
So whenever you're first starting out with a coach, a good coach is not going to have you start out 5 times a week, especially beginner lifter or a beginner athlete. Like they're not going to start you out 5 times a week, no matter how much money they're going to be making.
Exactly.
Like you have to kind of mitigate their burnout in a sense, because the clients can get burned out no matter how good of a coach you are, just from the whole process.
Right.
So starting them out on 2-3 times a week instead of 4 and 5.
Right. I feel like the
Could
start
be
had
better.
to be like that, in a sense, like just see how your body react, and see if that's something that you really want for your life. Because I've been seeing so many clients, bro, that they just come here the first week so motivate everything, which is good, everything going well.
Yeah.
But then they start see that they actually has to be here, come, and they just losing that motivate.
I think it also takes a toll, not only physically but also mentally, like you're
Mentally,
saying.
yeah, the discipline is I feel is the biggest thing here. Because if the new clients doesn't have discipline, no matter what, how much money you pay or supplements or anything that you can buy, doesn't gonna make you come here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're also realizing that you're not going to see results in the first week,
right.
oftentimes in the first month,
I know.
like you're imagining. There's going to be changes and there's going to be things happening kind of behind the scenes, but you're not going to get your summer shred bod within that first month.
For you, like, what do you think about how the first client what is the long term that they can see actually results?
Actual results?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many factors that determine that, but I'd say for the average individual, through a consistent training schedule with proper nutrition, like they can definitely start seeing results within the first 3 months, like physically changing. Other people will start noticing it probably a little bit later, but if you're constantly, taking either checking photos or just kind of seeing what you're looking like on a week-to-week basis, then you can see 3 months as a reasonable timeline. But like crazy changes, probably not going to happen within the first year,
Right.
realistically. And that's with you hitting all of your training sessions and you're staying on top of nutrition, which how many people are actually doing that,
People doesn't follow the nutrition things.
Yeah. But it's really not that hard. Like I just made a video about how people on the internet over complicate nutrition, and you feel like you have to fall into doing these complicated nutrition tactics. Like you have to meal plan every single meal, and you have to track every single thing, and you have to do X, Y, and Z, and it's just not that complicated. All you have to do is, well, what your coach tells you if you have a coach, and then if you don't have a coach, then just follow basic common sense, pretty much.
I know.
Like it's just kind of common sense.
It's so crazy because they literally come to us they pay us to give them our knowledge.
Right.
But even that, they doesn't follow that at all.
Some don't. Some do.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Some clients follow that. But about the nutrition side, like you give it then your nutrition plans, and the 50% doesn't follow that.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing. Like we always told our clients, like, hey guys, besides the workout, the hours that you're gonna spend here, you had to eat good. Like, it's the 70% of you, like, of everything.
So 70%?
70%, yeah.
I agree with that. Sometimes even higher, depending on their needs or their goals,
Yeah, like with new clients, you go harder. Like, I'm talking about more reps, Like, for example, like, you go down with the weights and then you make more reps, or the other, like the
for
other
new
way.
clients.
For new clients, yeah.
Typically, we would it all depends on previous training experience.
Okay.
And what I kind of perceive them to be you know, in whatever stage they're in, you know, how beginner are they? You know, because typically if you're getting a one-on-one personal training session from a coach, you're not an advanced lifter, right? So you're probably on the newer end of things, which is totally normal and totally fine. But I'm not gonna have you start out doing, you know, 5x5 squats or these super heavy deadlifts or anything like that, because one, it's not necessary for, you know, your training purposes. There's a lot more safe ways that you can approach that. And then two, most of the first month, if not 2 months of me with a new client is like me trying to just kind of figure out what their body responds to best, exercise wise, rep range wise, sets wise, like all these different factors. So it's kind of like I'm trying to explore their functionality through the training session. That's not to say that it's a waste of a training session or anything, but I really do see that their progress explodes after I'm able to get to know them a lot better.
A lot better, yeah. Okay.
Which I feel like a good majority of coaches skip that part entirely and don't try to learn their client. They just try to
drop them like just crazy ways and do this. Like, I feel like anybody, like absolutely body is different, you know? You can treat this 300 pounds guy the same way how do you treat the 200 pounds, you know? Like, also you had to see like how their body reacts with the workout. Most of the people get fatigued like super quick. Like, you don't even have to make their go hard.
Right.
They just walk in and they already feel tired.
Or what we think is going hard.
Yeah.
Right? But to them, that's failure. That's fatigue.
Yeah, but like you say, like most of the coach, they doesn't care that.
Right.
They just go hard.
Well, like I was going to say earlier, like they try to force their client into their training box instead of trying to mold their training program around the client.
Right.
Which is a huge, huge issue, because especially at big box gyms, like you'll have these coaches trying to push their plan on a client. Yes, they'll like ask them questions, and yes, they'll go through like whatever questionnaire or whatever, but that just kind of gets tossed out the window. And then they go into whatever training plan, and it's like, well, why did you ask me all these questions if you're just going to do the same thing for everybody?
No,
or relatively close
real.
to the same thing, you know?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But it's true.
It's true, bro.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. What do you think about recovery techniques for your clients? Like, let's say your client is a male and he's constantly sore.
What area?
Just pretty much like after a crazy leg day. Okay? He's constantly sore and he's not able to recover normally, like without other modalities, for like 5 days.
For 5 days?
Yeah. So you can't train frequently.
Well, first of all, I'm just gonna make sure that they are stretching well, because I feel like after any recovery session or before that, any clients has to stretching well, like before and after. Any personal trainer session before, like the first stretching that the clients correctly have to have is the dynamic. Dynamic means that you have to move your joints, you know? It's not just stay right there and try to touch your tippy toes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to start move slow, you know, like your body get warm. And after, like post your session, is when you're gonna start doing that, you know? Like be more like count 10 seconds, any stretching that you're gonna do, obviously. But if it's after that, they still feel sore, I'm probably gonna use cuppings with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, cuppings, because cupping, you know, like they take the blood up, so the blood fluid can go more fast and recover the muscles. You know what I mean? But some people just need, you know, like more protein.
I was gonna ask about that.
It's a bunch of stuff, you know, like.
It's probably not just one issue.
Like I said, like
break it down.
Bodies are different.
Yeah.
You know, some people doesn't have enough protein in their body. They doesn't drink water at all. Water is very important to their recover muscle, because muscles they just retain water. That's why the creatine is very important. Like at one point when your body need it. But yeah, I would say like depends of the area. If it's the stretching doesn't help, maybe drop them to my table and start, little stretching, assistant stretching. They pull my hands. I just hold it right there.
Yep.
And cuppings, tools, all that kind of stuff.
That
But
stuff
yeah,
feels
bro.
great too.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Yeah. Especially
That's
after
painful.
you're like insanely sore. And then you go right into a stretching session. That's brutal. So do you typically go from training session to like in this scenario,
Okay.
right? So you train, the client's sore, they're not recovering well. Would you recommend, and I'm asking you personally,
Okay.
would you recommend them going from being sore and then telling them like, hey, we need to look at nutrition first, or hey, we need to look at, doing a stretching session or a cupping session first? Like, what is your mentality?
I would say see the nutrition first
Okay.
and see.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and see how they going with that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, most of the body can be weak because they need more elements
Right.
in their body. But after that, if they hit the goals with the nutrition, everything, if it's something really bad, okay, let's come to a table, let's work out. And like in a sense, like the way how we train our clients is very like take care of their posture, because I feel when the clients feel sore or tight is because the muscle retains so much stress, and that stress doesn't might come for the exercise.
From the actual training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the people just working all day on the computer in the office, so they get tired. All this area right here, breathe. Breathe is very important when you're lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people just do back first of all, and they just get tired right here, and they doesn't breathe at all. So that's cause the stress on you.
I mean, I find myself not breathing on some exercises.
Yeah.
But I've had issues in the past where I'll be doing like a hack squat or something, or like a pendulum squat, like there's pressure down on my traps, and I miscalculate like the breath during the rep or something, and I just get so much pressure.
Right here, right?
Yeah, in the back of the neck.
Yeah.
And it causes a headache, and one time it just went on for months and months, and I literally couldn't train.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like all my clients, bro, they doesn't breathe at all. They just doing reps. I was like, breathe.
Do you ever? So sometimes I have to like sit people down, like stop the set, sit them down, and then like teach them how to breathe. And it's not like in a derogatory way. Like it's like there's actual breathing techniques, especially for big compound lifts and stuff, that you can teach them that not only helps their performance, well, helps their breathing obviously, but then translates into their performance. Right. So I kind of have to stop the set.
How do you teach them in that way? Like, it depends of the workout or the exercise, or is in general? Like, if you see someone that doesn't breathe.
Well, typically the issue comes up when we're doing compound movements. Like, if I'm going to teach someone how to do a squat, then I always tell them how to breathe and like the proper order to do stuff, and like what they should be contracting and what they should be relaxing and all that stuff before we can get into the squat. But other times, if I'm not having a squat or a major compound lift like in a program, then it just kind of comes up naturally.
Right.
And it's just kind of like, hey, this will help you tremendously. And then I go into it.
And also, I feel the fact with that is they doesn't breathe because they trying to go fast. Mm-hmm. And those sections, you have to go slow. I mean, it's not like it's quality, It's not like just go back. No, it's like just think about it, think about your breathe, think about your posture, like go slow, feel the muscle. Yeah. I feel like people just want to go high weight because they doesn't think like about it, Right. You can have you can hit.
Well, you don't have to think
biceps, and you can go like with low weights and still feel it because you think about it. You go like, okay, I feel like this. Go again. Most people just and they doesn't breathe. Right. And this motion, they doesn't breathe right there. But when you concentrate, you go like, okay. Mm-hmm. And it's when your muscles get born. Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest roadblocks that whenever we're first starting out, like I have a new client, we're first starting out, we're not trying to move weight. We're trying to stimulate muscles.
Right.
Right. And so getting that concept through the head is so hard because I said that to you and you knew what I meant.
Yeah.
But a brand new individual, never been to the gym, or maybe they've been a little bit and they just kind of lollygag around.
Yeah.
Like they don't know what that means. They're just in there literally to move weight because that's what they see other people doing. But in reality, people are actually trying to stimulate muscles instead of push as much weight as they possibly can.
Right.
Now, obviously, if you're doing strength training specifically or powerlifting or whatever, that's different. But like for most people in the gym, if we're trying to train muscles, we're not trying to train the weights.
They have to
Does
stimulate.
that make
the
sense?
muscle. Yeah, yeah.
What I mean?
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I think most of the people doesn't know that.
No.
That's pretty great.
And you constantly have to remind them, like, people will kind of get into the zone, like they'll show up and, you know, I'll tell them, you know, we got to do 50 pounds of whatever for X amount of reps. And they'll be like, okay. And then they go, and if they don't hit it, then they're like all bummed out and stuff.
Right.
Because that's what they did last week or whatever.
Literally.
And it's not going to be the same week to week, but my mentality is I'm going to give them a goal. If they don't reach that goal and they had proper form and they still felt it in the spot they were supposed to feel it, that's a win.
Yeah.
We're still stimulating muscles. We're still getting as much growth potential as we could had we hit that mark. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you and I go into the gym and we're not going to hit the same weights each and every week and be increasing. It's just,
That's a good point.
it's not how it works.
Like for the new clients, how do you what are you trying to explain them besides the session, the hour, anything like about exercise? Like what else do you explain to them
When they first sign up or just
Yeah.
kind of in general?
when you first sign up?
I more recently have been trying to emphasize nutrition
Okay.
just because, like we said earlier, it's 70% of your progress.
Your progress.
Yeah, which it's honestly probably even more because if you're a new lifter, this is the hardest part for me to get across to people because of the situation, right? So this is a new lifter and they're going to the gym. It really doesn't matter what they're eating as long as they're feeling full and they're getting enough calories during the day, they're going to grow muscle. Not necessarily lose body fat, but that's a nuance, right? They're going to grow just because their muscles have never been stimulated like that before. So that's newbie gains. And that's why everyone in the first 1 to 2 years is like completely kind of puts nutrition to the side because they didn't need that. They didn't need to focus on that. All they had to do was go in, pound the weights, and then leave. And they grow. But you get after that little newbie gain phase and you realize, dang, my progress is kind of slowing down. It's still making progress, but what's kind of the next thing I can add is nutrition.
Nutrition.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to instill in my clients, like if we just add nutrition in now, you know how much better your training is going to be now and your progress and your habits too. On top of that, it's just exponential.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I'm going straight to the discipline, to be honest.
More psychological.
I just trying to be full, like, open book with them. Like, hey, this is what we get. You have to be disciplined. If you don't have disciplines, to be honest, we won't gonna work out. Like, we won't gonna work, like, make this work.
Yeah.
Because how can you handle with somebody that doesn't feel that discipline with themselves, actually? Because they think that they're just gonna come here and work out and we're gonna change their life.
Right.
But I feel like we just give them the 20% of everything.
Like the session is about
deception. Yeah, I feel like they have everything in their minds, but they doesn't realize that until they spend enough time with you, like training and everything.
Yeah.
But discipline is the biggest thing, bro. We all the clients, they had to be disciplined with themselves. Like trying to come here early, like trying to do whatever the coach told them, nutrition, hit the goals, and also the outside workout. Because I think I heard you, some of your clients that are just struggling with cardio. It's like if you know what you need, what do you miss it?
Right.
If you know that you need like 2 miles in a day, 1 mile a day, like what do you?
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
That you have to do.
It's so much harder for you to get across.
That's come with the discipline.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had to know first before you come here, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for a long time. So let's get the discipline first, And I feel like after that, when you really click that on your mind,
Mhm.
it's gonna be so much easy for both of us.
Oh,
like, for
100%.
the client
Yeah, yeah.
and the coach.
Yeah.
Because when the people doesn't have discipline, it's like a talk to the wall.
Yeah. Like he's just bouncing off and there's no,
Yeah, bro.
yeah, it's not a conversation. It's just a monologue at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true, bro.
That's frustrating. I feel like also like you were talking about with one of my clients struggling with doing cardio, like there's a lot of things out there that you could do, but that doesn't mean that we have to do all of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have to do CrossFit, high rocks, strength train, hypertrophy train, powerlifting. Like we don't have to do all these things. We don't have to eat all these different fad diets to try to find it. Like you just find something that works and that you can stick to, and then we go with that.
And we go. Yeah.
And we don't have to like veer off
100%.
in 30 different directions each and every month. Like that goes along with the discipline and then consistency as well
Yeah.
along with it. But
That's
it's super hard to get that across to people because the short-term gratification of this whole process of bettering yourself is non-existent. Like we just don't get short-term
Right.
gratification unless you're one of those people that enjoys working out, right? Like you and I like working out and we feel good after, but a lot of people aren't that way. They want to see the progress sooner and quicker.
I can see your face.
You move my plant.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Is it bad if I drink this right now? Is that a bad thing?
No, it's good. It's good. I just want to be comfy and look at you, handsome.
Oh, perfect.
But yeah, bro.
That's so good.
Nice podcast. For real.
So far, so good.
Yeah. Educate. Like, we talk. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool. What is your next goal as a coach?
Well, I'm gonna eat my own words whenever I say this. Because I just finished talking about how you don't do 30 different things at one time, and that's kind of me as a person. Like I've constantly got 30 different things going on. Not 30, but a lot.
But I feel
You know what I'm
like
saying?
with us, it's not that big different because we already close to a goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like not like clients, like they literally come because they doesn't know how to find that motivation or discipline. So for us, we kinda know some days we keep like locked in for 2 months, 3 months, and maybe we're losing for a couple of days, 3 days, but that's okay. I mean, we're humans.
Right.
You know? But never me, bro. I'm very focused on.
I know. You're always locked in.
Yeah, thank you.
I would say my goals as a coach is the one big one that I'm prioritizing right now is just online client growth and trying to build that book of business up right now, because the amount of time that I'm spending in person with my clients is close to being capped to where I want it to be. And then I want the rest of my time to be spent doing check-ins and creating other programs and all that stuff. It's not that I don't like being in here, but I just want to spread my wings.
Okay.
In that way.
How do you press you online clients? How's the dynamic with that?
How do I press?
Yeah, like push them to get better because they doesn't see you. They doesn't see you in person. Like, how can you track exactly that you send to them to do? How do you track that?
It's a entirely different type of client.
Okay.
Obviously, they're online versus in person, but the online clients, you'll notice that they're very self-motivated and you don't have to hold their hand through every single step of the way. They've already got a pretty basic understanding of either nutrition or training or all that stuff. So you don't have to kind of introduce them to the whole realm of fitness. They've already been in it for a little bit. They're just looking to perfect or, advance, level up with whatever goal they have. If it's losing weight, gaining muscle, whatever.
How do you communicate with them?
I
mean, obviously,
text.
with the phone.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, how do you grow in that relationship with them?
I like to do weekly check-ins with my clients.
Like
So,
phone calls?
not phone calls. If they wanted to do a phone call, I'm open to that. But for now, I'm just sticking to them sending me kind of all the documents that I've asked them, and then I'll send them either a lengthy text, oftentimes more just a voice memo of me going through their check-in, giving any updates that we need to give, any feedback. Typically, I'll have them do like nutrition audits or something where they'll send me literal pictures of what they're eating. Like one time I had a guy send me pictures of what he was eating straight for like 30 days. And our texturing was just like pictures of his food. And that was keeping him accountable. And I wasn't necessarily like scrutinizing every single thing that was on his plate. It was more just him staying accountable. And that was the way that we did it.
Right.
So I think the relationship more or less is built over the long term and the trust, because they're going to see the progress and if they're putting in effort, you know, and they're going to trust you more and then go forward from there.
How?
But it's not the same relationship.
It's not the same
not.
relationship, right? And that's gonna be my next question. Like, do you gonna tell the clients, like not the clients, but the people that are trying to get into the fitness thing, go first with the online coach or find somebody in person?
If they're new,
If they're new, yeah,
I would say go with someone in person.
in person, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because your level of understanding is going to increase dramatically over a shorter period of time. Because if we're only communicating over text, then me explaining, you know, XYZ exercise is only going to happen after you've sent me training footage or after you've sent me some sort of, you know, explanation or whatever. And so it's just a delayed process compared to if I'm in person, we can go through an entire workout and I've just explained, you know, 8 different exercises and how to do them. And there's so many minute details, as you know, to stuff that you just can't communicate over text or call or whatever.
No, and also if they pick like an online coach because it's more cheap, but they doesn't realize that when somebody doesn't get used to something and you just give them so much information, they doesn't gonna process that.
Yeah,
They just
that's
gonna
another
read.
thing too. Yeah,
They just gonna read.
Yeah.
Because
And then
they
forget
doesn't
about it.
see you in person. They doesn't get the vibes,
Right.
the value. You know, it's so many points that you have to take care.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying is like they already have to have a baseline understanding of what is going to happen, like maybe some sort of expectation of what they're going to need to do, and I'm just kind of guiding them through it as an online coach.
Right.
But newbies, they come in and they're like, well, I don't know. You know,
How?
not necessarily newbies, but just people who haven't trained like the coach is going to have them train. They have expectations, but then the coach goes through, takes them through whatever training style they're going to need to reach their goals, and that's how they learn.
Never.
Yeah.
Good.
But I think that obviously there's a cost difference between in-person coaching and online coaching. But if you're investing in an online coach, it's so valuable because it's not only a plan and a protocol, but it's also another set of eyes over what you've already been doing. Like if you don't even follow what I send you, at least there's another person kind of looking out for you in the end, you know?
And then, yeah.
It's just
Pretty
a
smart
thought
boy.
that I had there.
Okay.
I don't know.
I will give you that.
Yeah. Have you thought about doing online coaching?
Yeah. I've been thinking about it. But I'm losing my mind with the people, with the clients. Like, see, no discipline at all. That doesn't make me want to train them.
Yeah.
For real, like me personally, like it's a great business, you know. You can be so successful. But me, I take this so personal. Like I had to see that you really want to change.
Yeah.
To me, like feel that I want to help you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But if you come to
That
me
makes sense.
and you don't,
Yeah.
you show me discipline couple of days, motivation just one day, and you always late, you doesn't hit the goals how supposed to be.
I've had a couple of months where I was like
To be
that,
honest, no.
and it made me just not even want to go into the gym because I was like, well, they don't want to be there. They're going to pay me to be there, but they don't want to be there.
They doesn't want to be
And
there.
so why would I, aside from the money portion, which is obviously not why we do this,
You know,
why would I invest my time to be there and then like I pretend, I guess,
yeah.
to enjoy it? But
No,
that's only for rare situations, I feel like, in my experience, when I have those days or short spans of time. But it's usually shortly lived because I do my best to find a way to shift their mentality to the point where, and it doesn't work all the time, but shift their mentality to get them to realize what they're doing is important and their future self is going to thank them for it. And they signed up for a reason with you and they began this process and we're just kind of, in a low spot. We're going to get out of it.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's likely what's going on, mentally behind the scenes is they're just kind of low.
That's made me think that all the clients, guys, that I bring, like, start new in any gym, like, don't pretend that any coach gonna change your life. Like, you have the keys to change your life, like, you don't, because they, like you say, like, a couple times ago, like, they just hire you as a personal trainer, as a coach, and they think that you're gonna change their life.
Yeah, I said that
Like
a lot of times. Yeah.
And it's not how that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even when I signed up with my online coach, like I was doing every single thing that I possibly could, that I knew how to do at least, to try to reach my goal. And I was seeing progress, but I knew that someone who's already gone through the process of what I knew I was about to go through was going to be able to give me way better insight and way better knowledge experience to make that process as smooth as possible and as efficient as possible for me. So it's not that I couldn't get there without the coach and that I'm not relying on him completely, but it's just like another set of eyes, like I was saying. Like it's not an entire body moving you to your goal. It's just like someone there in your corner helping you when you need it. And some people treat it like the exact opposite, where
Right.
it's just not going to work that way.
Yeah.
Either way.
It's not gonna work. Yeah.